We're making a Blood Orange Oleo Saccharum. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what an Oleo Saccharum is, it's equal parts sugar and citrus peels. And then you let it sit for 24 hours and the sugar dissolves, pulls the oils out of the orange peels. You can do this with citrus peels. You can also do this with any other fruit. In that case, it is called a Korean chong. We've been saving blood orange peels throughout the week, and we're gonna make an Oleo Saccharum and then make some coffee drinks with it. So I definitely forgot to weigh out all of these orange peels. You're supposed to do a 1-to-1 ratio, so however much weight of the orange peels to the weight of the sugar. So I put them in this bottle, realized that was a bad idea because I can't get them out. So I'm just gonna eyeball this, and it should be good enough. Also, apparently, blood orange is not like a thing anymore. They're raspberry oranges. I feel like that's a little misleading because it sounds like it's a hybrid of a raspberry and an orange. I guess some fruit company just decided blood isn't an attractive name for people to buy fruit, and they changed it to raspberry. They rebranded oranges. And apparently it worked. Like, they boosted sales by 43%. So, you know what? Guess I can't be mad. But blood orange just sounds way better to me than raspberry orange. I don't know. So we're going to let this sit for a couple hours. You can do anywhere from like an hour to 24. We'll probably sit probably 2 to 4. So we'll be right back. Okay, it's been 24 hours, if not actually probably closer to 30. We've got decent progress here, but not quite as good as I was hoping. I think it's probably for a couple reasons. So we did probably a little too much sugar in comparison to the orange peels. These orange peels also sat in our fridge for about a week. We kind of like collected them throughout the week as we used the blood oranges, so we didn't waste them. So I'm wondering if they dried out a little bit in the refrigerator for the week. Regardless, I think there's still going to be enough in here to do a quick little test. Now, I'm not quite sure what kind of drink exactly. I know what kind of drink, I just don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it. I want a denser espresso-based drink, more of a sipping drink. I don't necessarily want to put this in a latte with milk. I know orange cream's a thing. That's not where I want to go with it at first. I really want this syrup to be kind of the focal point of whatever we make. So I think right now we're just going to do a pulled espresso and then the syrup, and I don't know what else, but I feel like it needs a third thing, so I don't know, I'll figure that out. I'm going to use our Ethiopia Shikiso single origin espresso today. I really want this espresso to be a brighter, fruitier note that you're not going to get from our house blend. So this single origin blend is going to really come through and pair well with the orange syrup. Okay, I went for a little bit more of a ristretto shot, so it's a little less diluted. It's going to be a little stronger. So let's get this syrup in our glass. I think we're going to do about an ounce of it. If that's, we should be able to yield an ounce here. If not 3/4 of an ounce. I'm going to try not to shake this because I don't want to shake every single espresso drink that I do. So we're going to try and stir it, but I'm also concerned that that's going to dilute the espresso. So we're going to see. I think I'm literally only going to get 3/4 ounce of yield out of that, but that's okay. I'm actually going to, let's try this. That is really good. It's so bright, it's citrusy, but it's not like dark and cooked. It feels very clear, very natural. That could literally, you could put that in any drink over club soda. That is delicious. Okay, so let's get some ice in our glass. If I was doing this for real in a coffee shop, I would use cube ice because it's going to dilute less and it looks cooler than this kind of ice. I'm going to fill this glass all the way up though, since it is going to dilute a little bit. I wish there was a way to like flash chill the espresso. Maybe we'll try just doing that a little bit. Let it sit there for a second. I doubt that's going to do a single thing with steaming hot espresso. Okay, we're improvising here. This should give me a bit of a better base to flash chill. and see if that gets us where we want it to be. You could do this with cold brew. I feel like that's probably the more obvious way to do this. I'm just not honestly a huge fan of cold brew. I think it's way overhyped. It's usually dark, too strong, and I wanted something that was a little cleaner, brighter, fruitier, and I feel like cold brew doesn't usually end that way. So that's why I went with our Shikiso espresso. If I was doing this drink in a coffee shop, I would batch brew espresso. I've seen that kind of as a more popular thing. So I would just pull a bunch of shots of espresso, chill it in the fridge, and then dose it out for each drink as it comes through the line. I know that's a good option if you don't want to do the cold brew route. I feel like most sane person would probably just go cold brew. While that's chilling, I didn't really know what else to put in with this drink. I feel like it needs like 3 things. So I went with Angostura bitters. I couldn't really figure out where else to go with this, so we're just going to try that. But I do think it's going to add a nice little spice. I'm just going to do a couple dashes. I don't want it to be overpowering. I just kind of want another layer of flavor other than just espresso and orange. Okay, I think we've given the espresso enough time. I don't want it to sit too long. I'm just going to pour it over, and we're just going to stir it as fast as possible. And then you're just going to give this a good little spiral stir like this. Get everything chilled, spill ice everywhere. This is going to act like a little chill vortex to get everything cold. I feel like I was expecting this drink to look way prettier than that, but that's okay. Okay, so this is I don't even know what to call this kind of drink, but it's Blood Orange Oleo Saccharum, Shikiso espresso, and a dash of Angostura bitters. Wow, that is orange forward for sure. And I took too big of a drink. This is definitely a sipper drink, which is why I feel like you want a square sphere ice cube, a bigger ice cube. It's like weirdly sweet, but not also bitter with the espresso, which is probably our crappy espresso machine. But the highlight of this is definitely the Oleo Saccharum, which is kind of what I wanted. So I feel like it works out in that way. It kind of almost has a back end of like an orange pith, kind of that bitterness, not necessarily in a bad way. You could maybe just dilute this just slightly. I think honestly, you could try throwing in just a splash of milk. So it's not like milk-based drink, but it just has kind of that splash. You could even go almond milk, give it kind of like an orange almond kind of feel to it. But overall, this is honestly, not everyone in your coffee shop is going to like this. Straightforward, but it's my kind of drink. With that Oleo Saccharum though, like the orange flavor, it's so strong in a great way. Like it somehow tastes more like an orange than orange juice. I don't know how to describe it other than to taste it. It's just super clear and clean and natural, which, I mean, it obviously is. That's the benefit of an Oleo Saccharum method. If you haven't tried an Oleo Saccharum, it's your first time trying it, I want to try this on everything. Lemon, lime, grapefruit. You can do like, I think it's a Korean chong with other fruits. I feel like there's just endless possibilities. And the way this turned out, there's even more endless possibilities in the realm of coffee. This drink specifically, I think there's ways to get it just right. I think figuring out that third ingredient is kind of going to be key. If I could get the orange peels out of here, I would take one and have it as a garnish. It's kind of like a little candied orange peel. I think that you definitely need that in your face as a little aromatic. Honestly, the more that I drink it, the more that I like it. I feel like it's almost a little bit too orange forward, honestly. I wanted a bit more of that espresso note to it, which you get, but I want a little bit of that bright fruit acidity that comes from our Shikiso that I didn't quite get. But either way, like if I went to a coffee shop, this was kind of, had a little bit more attention to it. It had, garnish, the right ice cube, and it looked really nice. I would be so happy with this drink. I'm excited to keep experimenting with these Oleo Saccharums. There's definitely going to be more videos on it. I might even cave and use this for an orange cream latte. I don't know. I just feel like that's weird. Anyways, let us know in the comments. Have you ever tried an Oleo Saccharum? Would you try it? Make sure you comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.